Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about Nazca. And so I previously did a video on the cheapest way to see the Nazca lines, but I wanted to come back and give a comprehensive travel guide for anybody who wants to visit Nazca for more than just the Nazca lines. There is more to do in Nazca besides the Nazca lines, contrary to what I said in my previous video, so I wanted to spend this video breaking down some of the things that you can do. Specifically, first I'm going to talk about why you should visit Nazca. Secondly, I'm going to talk about the things you can do in Nazca, and so yes, that'll partially include the Nazca lines, okay? Thirdly, we're going to talk about hotels, what you should expect to pay for a hotel, okay? Fourthly, food and water, what you should expect to pay for food and water. And then lastly, number 5, the weather. What's it like in Nazca? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's a desert, okay? But let's go ahead and jump right into this. So first things first, why you should visit Nazca, okay? So Nazca is a smaller town in Peru. There's not a whole lot to do outside of a few activities. We will talk about those. And so if you're going to visit Nazca, it's probably because you're either interested in seeing the sights or you just want to travel to a new city and see what they have to offer, okay? And so long story short, this city will accommodate a wide array of needs. So if you're just looking for a place to have a good time, nightlife, Nazca will work for you. Or if you just want to see the Nazca lines and a couple other sites, it will work for you, okay? So you should visit Nazca if you are interested in historical sites, or if you want to have a good time in the desert, if you want to sand buggy in the desert, hint hint, or if you want to see casinos or go to bars. All of those things are available in Nazca, okay? And so let's go ahead and talk now about things you can do in Nazca, okay? So obviously you can do the Nazca lines. That's something that if you're watching this video, you probably want to see the Nazca lines, okay? But you can also see an aqueduct, okay? This is a pretty popular thing to do in Nazca, okay? And so the same people who constructed the Nazca lines, well, they live in a desert, so they also had to construct an aqueduct for water, right? And so that's another thing you can tour, and so this gives you an idea of what it will look like here. Also, if you are interested in seeing the aqueduct, all you'll have to do is go straight here, okay? We'll actually be able to get a nice view of the aqueducts, okay? So you can see how the water was flowing back into town way back when, and obviously people could go down there and harvest water. So very cool ingenuity by the Nazca people to be able to figure that out way back when. And so here's a little bit more on some of the other Nazca lines that you can see. This one right here is the astronaut. So this is actually street art that you could find in the town of Nazca that actually shows the Nazca people and gives you a nice picture of all the different lines that you can see at Nazca right in the middle of the town. Okay, so we got the Arvel, we got the spider, we got, I don't know what this is, flamingo. So there's lots of different lines to see. It's a very fascinating experience and very eye-opening experience. So here's a little bit more pictures. The monkey, oh yeah, the monkey. So back to the plaza in Nazca. Some more pictures of the plaza. Very beautiful main part of the town. Very green, given that it's in the middle of the desert. So here's a nice view of the Plaza de Armas. Here's what the main part of the town looks like. Alright, so let's talk a little bit more about a couple other things you can do in Nazca, okay? So yes, you can see the Nazca lines, and you can also see the aqueduct, okay? However, if you are still interested in touring sites in Nazca, there are a couple museums on site that you can tour. If that's still not enough and you're looking for more things to do, well, a fun idea of something you can do in the desert is you can actually rent a sand buggy in Nazca and go out and drive a sand buggy through the dunes in the desert. It's a very fun thing to do, so that would be another idea for you to consider, is getting a sand buggy, okay? And also, there's a good amount of casinos and bars and nightlife in Nazca for anybody who is interested in doing that. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk now about hotels, okay? And so I normally wouldn't do it this straightforward, but this is a hotel that I stayed at that I had a really good experience at, and it's actually located right on the Plaza de Armas. Okay, frente a la Plaza de Armas, or in front of the Plaza de Armas, I believe is what the translation is. And it's a very reasonably priced. And as you can see here, it gives you a nice balcony view of the plaza. And so on the balcony at the Hotel El Mirador, you will get this nice view right here. So excellent reason to visit that hotel, okay? And then as I was saying, it's reasonably priced. If you go to the website, it doesn't necessarily give you the price that I know from personal experience. And so just a heads up on that, if you are taking my word on this and checking out this hotel, the prices listed on the website are not necessarily what you would expect to pay if you were just to show up in person, okay? So take that note. Realize that if you show up in person in Peru or at Nazca or at the Hotel El Mirador, you'll probably get a better deal just by showing up in person. Okay, so show up in person if you want to expect to get the best deal on a hotel in Nazca. Okay, let's talk now a little bit about the food and water in Nazca. Okay, so it's really nothing different than what you would expect in other Peruvian cities, in that you can get a 5 sol meal at an array of different places in Nazca simply by just walking around, and you'll be able to find the local restaurants. They'll usually put a nice little sign out that'll tell you the price and specifically what you can get for that price. And as I was saying, you can expect to get it as little as 5 soles for a meal, okay? And now lastly, let's finish up by talking about the weather in Nazca, okay? And so it is a desert, and so you should be expecting lots of sunshine, right? Okay, and so highs of 27 or about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, or as low as about 19 or in the 60s Fahrenheit. Okay, so generally pretty hot, and also given that it's the desert, you shouldn't expect to have any or have that much rainfall while you are there, okay? But other than that, that's really all I have for you guys on Nazca. That is a complete comprehensive guide to everything you can do in Nazca, and also a budget rundown on what you should expect to be paying while you are there. Okay, so don't just visit for the Nazca Lines like I did. Also, make sure to see the aqueducts, see the museums, and also be sure to rent a sand buggy and go out in the dunes and just have fun driving around the sand dunes, okay? So that's all I have for you guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace.